Recently, when we were shooting,
Yeah.
you brought this up, and I wanted to ask you a question about it.
Tell me.
Like, nonchalantly, you brought up that you used to work at an insane asylum.
Yes, when I was in high school, that was about the only job I could get.
Let's clarify for people at home. He used to work at one. He didn't attend one. It was his job to be there.
Yeah, just to be clear, for those of you that are a fan of David's YouTube videos, I'm not crazy, but I did work in an insane asylum.
Or that's what everyone made him believe while he stayed at the insane asylum.
Oh, did I say work there? I lived there right before I started YouTube.
How do you get to work in an insane asylum?
Well, it's pretty easy. I mean, there's not a lot of jobs in my town.
You were just the smartest one out of the bunch, so they were like, hey, come work in the cafeteria.
I was one of the smartest there, I'll tell you that much. No, I just cut the lawn. I trimmed the hedges. I did the roses. I rode the tractors. It's just this.
I played with the dominoes.
I had lunch with President Reagan. I opened for Jimi Hendrix. I did it all. It was the greatest job ever.
I started the One Direction.
I was the first person on the moon. But that's what the insane asylum was like.
Yeah.
There were stories like that, that.
Give me an example. Give me something good. Not a lot of people work at an insane asylum.
Yeah, I guess the funniest part about an insane asylum is that you'll be talking to someone, and you don't know they're crazy, and they're totally normal. And you're a kid, you're 16, so someone will come up to you and be like, hey, you're not supposed to mow this field, and you'll be like, oh, okay, I didn't know. I'm so sorry, I won't mow this field. It's like, yeah, you really got to take the trimmer with it, because you're gonna brown out the thing, and then the next thing you know, you'll see that guy in fucking handcuffs. You know what I mean? Like being beaten with a stick.
He goes, "You can't mow this field. This is where the spaceship lands."
Exactly.
That's so interesting.
Yes, really, the spaceship.
And were the people in the insane asylum? Were a lot of them murderers?
There were a section that were murderers,
wow.
And then most of the people there were like nonviolent, and they roamed freely, and they would just do silly things. Like one guy. He would just walk in a circle for 4 or 5 hours a day, singing the Doors. You don't know the Doors, but the Doors was like a big band from the 60s.
And he would just sing it for 4 to 5 hours?
He would sing the Doors for 4 or 5 hours a day.
A specific song?
Mitch, his name was Mitch. L.A. Woman. And he would just be in the corner. He would walk in a circle, and he would go, take a look around about an hour ago. Do, 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 L.A. Woman. And then when he'd finish it, he'd start all over again, and yeah, it was a crazy place to work. I liked it though at the time because that was probably the summer where I was like, all right, I'm going to go into comedy. I think because life's so funny.
And then the people that murdered people in the insane asylum.
That was scary. I would have to go in and mow that lawn, and they would have to lock me in there.
What do you mean they'd have to lock you in? Oh, like you'd be in there with the inmates?
I'd be in there with the inmates, and then they would just...
Or not inmates, patients, right?
Yeah, the patients, and then they would taunt you the entire time. They'd be like, I'm going to fuck your mother. Are
you serious?
Yeah, like, bring your mother. Oh, I swear to God. I'm going to fuck your... And then I got used to it. I wore a Walkman. Back then, we didn't have
oh my God.
iPods. A Discman I probably had.
Wait, so... so these people would literally be in the same room as you, in the same garden as you, and they would be yelling things at you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then did you get fired? Did you quit? What happened?
It was just a summer job. So I went back to school, and then I think I went to college.
And it's called an insane asylum?
Well, it was called the Medfield State Hospital. Uh-huh. Yeah, and it looked like a college campus that was really run down.
Jesus Christ.
It was like a crazy.
Was it scary looking? At night?
Yeah, at night, yeah. It was pretty scary at night.
Shit.
And then we would, and then, the funniest was there was a guy, I think this was in your vlog this week, I don't know, but I'll tell the story here. I'll tell it quickly. My friends were playing, the other guys, they played us, they were in a band, and they played for the patients one night. And this one guy, again, we didn't know he was crazy. You can't tell who's crazy and who's not. But he walked up to my friend's dad, and he offered him some deodorant, which we just thought was just so funny. So funny. Go watch David's vlog if you want to see it. But.